So I'm just thinking about things, sitting here in Tokyo. And it's really interesting to see how people going up and down on 151. I mean, they've been doing this for over a year and a half, nearly a year and a half, right? So if you think about the kind of playable window with the current regulations, 151 came out in June in Japan, the Japanese version, June 2023. So it can go until June 2025, which is another like 7 months. They can reprint, the Pokemon Company, with all due respect. It's their product. They can print it whenever they want. The only restrictions are, from what I can see, do we have this printer set up? Do we have that printer set up? Is this set coming out? Is that set on top of us? What should we do? How should we get this done? But, if I had to take a guess, I would say, hey man, this is one of our biggest sets. As soon as it gets too hot, let's push the button for reprints again. So, it's not a big leap of knowledge to say that, all of the printers that they have on hand, that they've got one of them in reserve saying, hey man, this is one of your KPIs. This is one of your priorities and when we say you print 151, you print 151. I mean, it's just my thoughts on that. I'm not stating fact or anything, but it makes sense, right? I mean, if you had your own company, you would do something along the same lines, right? So all of the people 151 just and there's no more reprints. There's so many people. There's so many card shops in the US, a big kind of people on, medium people on YouTube saying, there's no more reprints for 151. Then 1.5 months later, there's a reprint in the US and a reprint in Japan incoming in December. And then, you never hear from these people again. They never say I made a mistake. I'm sorry about that. Or whatever, right? So the price goes up Japanese 151 from let's say 9,000 yen to 17,000 yen, right? Because all of the reprints are done. And then there's a reprint announcement. And the price is coming down again to 13,000 yen. $90, whatever it is, in Japan, right? For export from Japan, right? I don't know what the prices are outside of Japan. That's not my sphere of expertise. I'm based here. I know what suppliers are doing. I know what the prices are here, so to speak, right? But my take on this is the Pokemon Company, at any time, of course, they can reprint whatever they want. And they generally, from my experience, reprint within the 2-year playable window. So as soon as the regulation cards are not available, they don't reprint. And from my kind of feeling of this is they obviously don't want to print cards or packs which have cards on the shelves which can't be used for regular play, because that would be rude to the players, right? A kid walks into a shop and buys a pack, and then they open it, and then they go to play, and they say, oh, that's out of regulation, you can't use that, it's old. They're like, well, I just bought it today. So, the kind of rule of thumb is that until the regulation is done, reprints are fair game. And then when the regulation is done, they generally don't reprint boxes. Maybe they might have a special set that they reprint, but not general run-of-the-mill boxes they don't reprint in Japan. So therefore, if you think 2025 June is the deadline for 151 and there's reprints coming, buy that out of that right now. If you see Japanese 151 at retail prices, this is evolutions all over again, man. They printed that into the ground. And look at the prices of evolution in English. Think about that. This is another 6 months window of possible reprints of the Japanese 151, and then it's done. And then it's done. And then add a year, add 1 year, add 2 years, add 3 years, add 5 years. No financial advice. But what I would say is, look at the trends and look at the restricted areas of printing until now. It's always been within the playable window that they have reprinted boxes. So when we get closer to June 2025, there's going to be a less chance of a reprint. Therefore, if you see reprints at a cheaper price, could be the time to buy. As soon as I see the reprint in December, as long as my wife's not listening to this at the moment and she's sleeping, I'm gonna buy as many as I can find and put them in my closet or my studio, depending how much I actually do buy. But that is kind of my take on that. And you know, these prices, it's like a roller coaster, up and down and up and down, and nobody's really using their brain on this. They really aren't. I mean, the current take of the Pokemon Company, in my feeling, I'm not stating facts or anything, from my feeling of being here on the ground in Japan, looking at the market every single day for the last 5 years, and I'm talking about every single day, because that's the kind of guy I am, is they're not going to let this get overheated right now. They don't want stuff to be overheated. That's why they've been printing everything into the ground, because they don't want it to get overheated. They don't want scalpers. They don't want it to get overheated. So as soon as 151 is going to the moon, they're like, wow, this is still in the window. Let's call up printer ABC and let's say to them, hey man, okay, print out another 50,000 boxes because I need that on the market right now to bring the price down. And that's within their rights because that's their product. And, you know, like I said, even after the window, they could print it, but it kind of goes against the grain because, like I said, that's not good for players. So until now, they have not done that, and I don't think they will break that rule. But they are in their rights to do so, but I don't think they will. So for at least the next 6 months, I would say please expect reprints if the market is getting a little bit too hot on this product. And when you see the reprints, no financial advice, I would say take your pocket money, buy a box where you can get it, because that's what I'm doing. I just put it away in my cupboard, put it away and put it away, because after 2025 June, then I really do see this product going to the moon. Yeah, and use English evolutions as a benchmark for this conversation. But, you know, like I said, no financial advice, my feelings only. And, yeah, at the moment, my takeaway from this is take a chill pill. Don't buy at the high price. There's still opportunities. Prices will go down within this 6 months from my feelings. Okay? So anyway, thank you so much and bye from Tokyo.